Welcome everyone, an update on the Nostalrius situation. I know it's very soon after I made the previous video, but there are some things that have happened that are actually quite important. The petition in itself has reached 150,000 people. By the time this video is up on the channel, it will be at 150,000 people. As I'm recording this, it's less than 500 people away. By the time I finish recording this video, it will be at 150,000 signatures. And that's a big deal. And the reason it was able to get a boost recently was because Kern, the lead designer of vanilla World of Warcraft, threw his support behind it. Now he's no longer with Blizzard, but what he did say, and I think this is actually one of the reasons that this petition has gotten so many signatures lately, is because he said he would give this petition personally to Mike Morhaime, the guy in charge at Blizzard. And you know, when it comes to an online petition like this, you feel, you know, it won't have an impact, no matter how many signatures it will get, because what would make Blizzard care? Do you really think that Mike Morhaime would give a shit about this one, even if it got hundreds of thousands? But with someone like Kern saying that, oh, the petition reaches 200,000, not 150,000, but if the petition reaches 200,000, he would give it to Mike Morhaime in person. And that's a big deal. It's also a big deal to get the support for a legacy server, essentially, from someone like Kern, who was the guy responsible for World of Warcraft Vanilla existing in the first place. So yeah, a really good development. And it does show that some of the people who were arguing, oh, it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter, people should get over it, it's not a big deal, you know, it just shows how wrong and ignorant they are. And I would like to call out someone here in particular, someone who I follow on YouTube, and that's Mike Preachwell, who basically made a video saying, what's the point, what's the value in a petition, you know, if it only got so many signatures? Like, really? You know, 100,000 signatures on an online petition means that petition has to be considered for debate in the British Parliament. A petition with 100,000 signatures, online petition, will generally get a response from the White House if you make it on any particular subject. A petition in the Netherlands recently with, what, 300,000 signatures brought on a referendum saying that the online petition, now granted the one in the Netherlands, I don't believe that was an online one, but you get the point. If you get something that's signed by 100,000, 200,000 people, probably gonna get to 200,000 people, and saying that doesn't matter, that's irrelevant. And when he said that the petition had already broken through 100,000, saying that's irrelevant is a narrow-minded point of view, a very narrow-minded, ignorant point of view. And it just goes to show how some people view it. And you know, this is not Mike Preachwell, because his opinion is shared by a good number of people. Perhaps the people who like World of Warcraft at the moment, those few that do, you know, those few millions that still play the game. The people who have made their peace, perhaps, with what World of Warcraft is at the moment, who have decided that, you know, that the fight has gone out of them if they fought before, or have accepted it all the way through. You know what? Though there are millions of people who don't accept it. Just because they don't sign a petition, that doesn't mean there aren't millions of people out there who aren't interested. If 200,000 people sign this petition, there's probably 5 times that many people, 10 times that many people who would probably play a vanilla server, right? I would play a vanilla server. I want to play a Burning Crusade one, but that's because I've already been through Burning Crusade. I already saw most of the content. And you know, I don't want to go through that again, but I would love to go through vanilla and experience and level up a character, go through all the raids, really, you know, go through that experience, because I never really got the chance to actually get through the raids of vanilla. And that's, you know, that's perhaps another thing. You might have nostalgia on one factor, but you'd also have people, you know, how was it like, you know, people who'd be curious, who would really throw themselves into it. And there are people like that who did play on Nostalrius and who did enjoy it, who did enjoy the community. Just 200 signatures as I'm recording this required. It's getting crazy, but you know, it is a big boost when you have someone like Kern giving his support for this. So you know, that's a good sign. The video footage of this particular video is from Heroes of the Storm. And I selected this footage of a game I played just to highlight something about Blizzard, the lack of communication in particular. So Blizzard decided to not give a surrender option in this game where you could, vote to surrender match, forfeit the match. And this is perhaps another example of them not understanding at all. It's like, well, we feel the match lasts until the end. That's a good idea. If there are some matches where you can play until the end, where you're really putting it through and it's very close. But there's a lot more matches where you are really underperforming, you're getting slammed, and you really just don't feel like bothering with it anymore, and yet you're stuck in the match because Blizzard refuses to give you a surrender option. Or when someone leaves the game, a bot takes over and you have zero chance in that particular case without a human player. You have close to zero chance of winning a match, but you're stuck in it anyway, right? For a while at least. So that's that's all very annoying as far as I see it, forcing people to be in the game. And that's just another example of where Blizzard is going wrong. Legion will not be the promised land. Legion will not deliver for Blizzard. I mean, there will obviously be a boost initially to the game, but Legion's probably gonna fail as well. And one of the main reasons is, by the time Legion is released, and it won't be this summer, it won't be this spring, it won't be in May, for instance. Obviously, right now the game's still in alpha, there's still a lot of content that needs to be added. Won't be in summer, because releasing something in summer is something Blizzard has learned not to do when it comes to WoW. It's something they thoroughly understood when, because people are not as active in summer. So they're gonna release it in September at the earliest. Between now and September, they're gonna lose a lot of people in World of Warcraft. And this whole situation is not playing well in their hands. I would be really curious to know what kind of debates, if there are any, that are taking place at the moment in Blizzard. What kind of discussion. And the petition just got over 150,000. Yeah, good job on the people that signed, good job on people that took interest, and big thanks to Mark Kern for his support for this. It did mean a lot. Now, just 50,000 to get to 200,000, and then things get very interesting as I see it. That's when the real magic begins. Though Mark Kern made the point that if you really want to see a real change, something to really shake up Blizzard, you need hundreds of thousands of signatures, probably like 800,000 or 900,000. That's something, I think he gave a figure around that number. If you want to see a real response for Blizzard, something that would really shake things up. And I think it would be for the better. I think the realization, perhaps, the crushing realization, the one that smacks them in their face, that there's a lot of people out there that don't care about what they're doing right now with World of Warcraft, for all their work, for all their efforts, for all their money, that don't care, that would rather play a game that's 10 years old, over 10 years, over a decade old. I think that would be something that might change things, shake things up a bit in Blizzard. I think that's important. I care about this not because, I want to see Blizzard go down or anything like that, because I care about their games. I want them to make good quality games. I want them to make games that similar to the ones that I experienced in my childhood, that defined my childhood and defined me as a gamer. I'm not the only one who feels like that. I think there's a lot of people who were defined by Blizzard games, as gamers and perhaps as people overall, through the experience that they had in Blizzard games. So that's kind of what I had to say on the subject. It remains to be seen what kind of response Blizzard could give to this. For now, they've said nothing, essentially, as far as I am aware. But they can't keep doing that. Not as long as this thing keeps getting signed more and more and more and more. So, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out, and stay tuned for more. I'll probably do an update when it reaches 200,000. And it very likely will reach 200,000 considering the way things are going. So, stay tuned for that.